Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the animation tools in Procreate. There are links to the iPad, screen protector and Apple Pencil that I use in the description, along with my Procreate brush pack and animation files from this video, which are free to download. Today's animation is going to be a loop for Instagram, and I'm going to set up a square canvas at 2000 by 2000 pixels. Once that's sorted, I'm going to bring up the animation timeline by going to the wrench at the top, and from the menu select Canvas and Animation Assist. In the timeline you can tap a frame to change the hold duration, duplicate it, delete it, or set it as the background for your animation. In the settings you can adjust your frame rate, how many frames your onion skin will show, and set the opacity. I don't use the blend primary frame feature, which will make your current drawing blend in with the onion skin, but I do use the color secondary frames, which will change the frames before your current drawing to red and the ones after to green. There's options to make the animation play as a loop, where it will play continuously until you pause. Ping pong, where the animation will play from start to finish and then finish to start before repeating. And finally, one shot, where it will play once and stop. Selecting Add Frame will also create a new layer in the Layers panel, and grouping multiple layers will show in the timeline as one frame. This is super helpful for adding colour and textures, and means you can still edit them later on if you need to. So now we've gone over the timeline, let's get started on this animation. I'm going to use the boiling line technique, which means I'll redraw my image 3 or 4 times so that when I play it back, it'll make a nice loop and look a little wobbly. If you trace the line of your previous frame closely, you won't get quite so much of a boil. If you're a little looser with it, then the effect will be more extreme. I'll add a new frame, which creates a new layer in my Layers panel. Make sure my onion skin is activated. Usually I'll only have 1 or 2 frames showing to make it a little less confusing, and trace over the previous drawing. I'll repeat this for the 3rd frame and play my animation through. For such a short loop it seems a little fast, so in the settings I lowered the frames per second to 6, but you can choose whatever suits your animation best. To colour this animation, I'll go to the Layers panel and make a new layer beneath my line work, and group those 2 layers. As the timeline registers that group as a single frame, I can now start colouring. I can either colour the image normally by hand, or double tap on the line work layer and select Reference, so I can drag the colour from the panel at the top and fill it in the sketch. If I then want to add texture, I can deactivate the Reference option from the line layer, and make a new layer above my colours and turn it into a clipping mask. Using a different brush and colour, I can then draw over the top, adjusting the blending mode and opacity of that layer until I've got the look I want. After that, I just need to repeat these steps for the other frames. To add in a background, I'm going to make a new frame and drag it to the start of my timeline. As I draw, I can either merge the layers together or select them and create a new group. When it's finished, I'll then tap once on the frame in the timeline and activate the background function, which will make it show beneath the rest of the frames throughout the animation. The same steps can be applied to the foreground option, only this time the frame has to be at the end of the animation timeline. Because I want to upload this to Instagram, the video needs to last for a minimum of 3 seconds. As my layers are grouped, I'll need to duplicate them individually, or I could flatten each group, select them all and duplicate them by dragging them over onto the canvas and releasing. When that's done, all I need to do is export it. If I go to the wrench and select Share, there's several options. Typically, I'll export as a GIF, MP4, or export the layers as individual PNG files if I need to bring the animation into another program later on. To export a GIF or PNG sequence with a transparent background, simply hide any background layers in the layer panel first. For this one, I'm going to go with MP4 and make sure I'm happy with my frames per second before I hit export. After that, I can choose where I want to save it and upload to Instagram as normal. If you're having trouble uploading from your iPad, you can always email the file to yourself or use WeTransfer, Google Drive or Dropbox and download onto whatever device you'd like to use. If you're working on a longer animation, you might want to split your shots into different Procreate projects within a folder. You can then export each animation individually and bring them into an editing program when they're finished to add sound and transitions. For editing on a PC, I use the free version of Davinci Resolve, while if I was to edit on the iPad, I could use iMovie. There are links in the description to my free Procreate brush pack and the files for the animation examples I've used in this video. Please be sure to leave a like if you find this helpful, subscribe if you want to see more animations and tutorials from me, and I'll be back with another video real soon. Bye!